Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me featuring the main event, which is the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys this is what it looks like. It has the most extra bougie packaging I've ever seen in an eyeshadow palette. It's literally velvet. It's collecting all the cat hair in my house. It's inevitable. Everything I own has cat hair since my cat sheds a ton, but it's really pretty. Definitely very bulky, very big, which I don't always like in palettes, but it's pretty much expected from Jeffree. It just looks very rich and like he spent a lot of money on the packaging. And then it has this little clasp here that lifts up, and then you have the palette. So it's a nice range of purple shades. I know there's some people who really love the color story, some really didn't. I was one of the ones who loved it because I feel like it's purple enough without being too much, and a lot of people were expecting more, but I feel like there is quite a bit of purple in here. I don't know, that's my opinion. There's a lot in here, and I don't know what people were expecting. I think they wanted something very deep like this palette color, something that dark, since I guess Blood Queen isn't as dark. It goes on more pink, and then it goes right to these dark shades like Dungeon and then Executioner. So I could see that, but overall I really like the story. It is more, I would say, pastel-y. But it's a very beautiful palette, and I think he did a good job with the color scheme. The only one I don't really care for is this Serpent shade. I don't know. I just don't really think I'll use that with the color scheme here. And then Bleeding Heart, I think it kind of stands out to me as well, but I think I could definitely make that work with the purples in here. I guess there is another green here. You could do Sworn Enemy with the Serpent one, and then maybe Executioner. So I guess it kind of makes sense. I do kind of wish maybe they replaced those green shades with something else, but it is kind of fun to have a variety. Anyways, that's kind of the inside of the palette. Next I'll show you guys swatches. Swatching the palette, I think the swatches are absolutely beautiful. I will say, like, these first two rows are very light when swatching, and then it definitely gets deeper down, which is good because you can kind of use them for transition shades in the crease, but it might not show up if you guys have a deeper skin tone, which can be frustrating. But overall, I think that they swatched really nice, and the shimmers in here are really gorgeous. I think there's some really unique shades in here that I don't have in some of my other collections. Now, I will say, since I have used this a couple of times, I brought this to Florida with me, and I won't lie, I did have a few issues blending the first 2 days I was using it, but once I kind of got the hang of it, it definitely got a lot easier. I would just say less is more if you're using those dark mattes. I tried to do a really dark smoky purple look, which I think was my issue. I think I went in too hard with the Dungeon shade, and it just was really hard to blend, and I ended up spending like 30 minutes on my eyeshadow that day, and I was kind of getting frustrated. So I did throw some lashes on, and it did make everything better. The first day I used it, I did do a more simple look with the pastels and the palette, and then wet jewel on top. That was really pretty and super easy to do. And then today's look, it literally took me like 5 minutes. It was so easy. So I think I'm finally getting the hang of it. It just took a little bit of adjusting. Those darker mattes are a little more hard to blend, so less is more when using those. It does feel pretty similar to the other Jeffree Star formulas that I have used, and I think it's a really pretty color scheme. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into the get ready with me portion of this. Alright, so going into the Bloodlust palette, I am first going to dip into Your Majesty, which is this cream shade, and place this all over the lid. I love that Jeffree puts those kind of neutral cream shades in his palettes because I use them every time to just like set my eyeshadow primer. And then I want to go into the shade, we'll do a Royal Pain, this one here, and place this in the crease. Next, I'm going to dip into High King over here and also place that in the crease over the Royal Pain shade we just used. Next, I'm going in with Blood Queen. This will go in the outer corner. These shadows blended super easily today. And then I'm going to use Dungeon, this kind of darker smoky purple, and also on the outer corner. I'm having much better luck with this palette today. When I used it when I was on my trip, it did give me some blending issues, but I was also trying to do my makeup really quickly. And I don't know, something when I'm in Florida, my makeup never turns out like quite as good. It just feels really dry. But now it seems to be working fine. I think it's also the brushes I took. I kind of like to use like a cleaner brush, and I've been using those brush like all week. So I think that's the issue, because I used this shade, but I did kind of go in heavy-handed. So I think if you're nice and light with it and kind of build it up, like how I took that purple and then we layered the darker purple over top, I think that worked a lot better. But yeah, now it's blending like really seamlessly and really easy to work with, honestly. So that is how it looks. I did that in literally like 3 minutes. It was so fast. Next, I just wet my brush a bit, and I'm gonna go into this Pink Magic right here. Looks so pretty. And put this on the lid. Oh wow, I haven't used this shade yet, and it is absolutely beautiful. For eyeliner, I'm going to use the Stila Smudge Stick in the shade Stingray, which is just their basic black, and line my upper and lower lash line with this. I'm going to take a bit of Blood Queen on the lower lash line. And I'm just kind of lightly smoking that underneath. And then I'm going to quick darken it with the Dungeon shade again. Alright, I really like how that looks, and we'll clean it up with some concealer. So I'm just going to do like a whole get ready with me today, since it's a little late for a palette review. For my brows, I'm going to use my favorite Benefit Precisely My Brow and Gimme Brow Plus together. I always like to do these. I just feel like they give the brows kind of a natural look. So I usually sculpt them out with the Precisely My Brow pencil. And then going over that with the Gimme Brow. For my foundation, I'm using this one from Shiseido. I actually have not used this for a bit. I don't know why. I have so many foundations. Sometimes I just kind of, they get lost in my drawer. But this is the Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation with SPF 30. So I'm just going to take that on a Sigma brush and blend this into the skin. I did apply a little bit of primer already. I've been wearing my Peach Perfect foundation like all week while I was at Disney, so I'm like ready to mix it up. That one like really clumps up your foundation brush, which is kind of annoying, but I do love it, and it does last really well for me for oily skin. But yeah, this one's nice. It's a little bit more dewy than the Too Faced, so time to kind of switch it up a bit. Of course, for concealer, I'm going to use mostly Jeffree Star stuff if I can. So I have the Jeffree Star Magic Concealer. This one is in C3. I absolutely love this concealer. I also brought this with me on my Disney trip. It's my go-to like holy grail concealer. I am going to pop on some lashes here. These just say Ladylike Faux Lashes. I got these at TJ Maxx during the holidays. I don't know if they would still have them, but I really need to buy some of my favorites because I am almost out. Alright, I am going to go ahead and set the under eyes here with my concealer with this Jeffree Star Magic Powder in Fair. I also love this stuff. It has a cotton candy scent and it works really well. I love it. It's not too drying, not too glowy. It's a perfect in between. For my bronzer, I'm going to use this little mini Marc Jacobs Omega Bronze in Tantric, which is a really nice kind of mid-tone shade. I need to get a full size, but this mini has lasted me, honestly, forever. For my blush, I'm going in with the Jouer Coquette Blush Duo. It's such a pretty light pink. I'm going to mix these two together and create a really pretty pink blush to go with our eyes. And then for highlighter, I'm going to go in with the Brain Freeze little palette. And I'm going to take a little bit of, I think I want to mix Frozen Fruit and Gold Breaker. So I'm going to mix those two together for my highlight today. So crazy pigmented. I love Jeffree's highlights. They're so good. And then for the lip, I wanted to do something purple. This is like probably the most purple one I have. I have a bright purple, but I think this would be a little bit more wearable. This is the Sagittarius liquid lip from his collection. So let's see how this will look with the eyes. So that's pretty much the whole look for today's Get Ready With Me using the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette with all the purples. I think this look came out really nice. I'm really pleased with it. It's so gorgeous. I feel like purples are nice because they're like kind of out there, but they're also more wearable at the same time for being color. And this lid shade is just stunning. This one was Pink Magic. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I've also tried out the Wet Jewel shade, that pink there. And I've used quite a bit from the palette. I think it's very pretty, and I really like purple. So far I'm impressed with it. I really like how this look came out. I have everything linked down below if you are curious. You guys will have to let me know your thoughts. If you have the palette, what are you thinking? But for now, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.